Hello everyone and welcome to this new live stream. We were this close to be postponed or cancelled because of the infamous update. So as you may know, they updated the game for the Wedding Stories update DLC that will be coming out in 2 days. And I heard on like TSR Discord, everyone was like, oh, this is broken. So I was like, oh, maybe I will have to, change my plans. But actually the build and buy item are fine. I also tested Sims 4 Studio. It would launch correctly. If you, if you're doing CIS, I advise not to update your game. So hi Peregrination, thank you so much for being here, and hi Mia, hello Nabuzo, and hello Florida on YouTube as well. Hi Sana too. For people on YouTube, it's easy on YouTube because you don't have to create an account, but I really recommend Twitch because it seems that the time between when you write and when I see your question and when I answer is like really stretched. So it's more interactive, I think, on Twitch. So I have my screen not placed well, so you're seeing my window. Wait. Yes, better. I'm perfectionist, sorry. So I hope you are all doing well today. Kiwi is here too. Hi, Kiwi. She wants out, as usual. I translate what I say. Good evening. Bonsoir. Good evening. I have the link for where they are tracking broken stuff if you would like me to share on Discord. Yes, please, you could do that because I was like, maybe I would go in game and check my wedding stuff. I've made only one set with wedding stuff, so I thought that would be easy to check. And then I just wait for people to check theirs, and I will wait for complaints, I think. Hi, Rustic Gamers, thank you for being here. Hi, I don't write much anyway. I just like watching your creator. Then all good. So today I'm going to show you what I've been published last week, and I don't have anything to show you as a work in progress because I've been taking a few days off to take care of some stuff. So today we are actually going to start a new set from scratch. So I choose the item I wanted to do. It would be one for TSR again. A nice productive day, thanks. That's good. Productive day are the best because we feel so proud at the end of the day. So I hope you feel proud. Hello everyone, hello Sib, hi Felipe, nice to see you again. Likewise. So, there we go. So this was a nursery set. As usual, I really like to include functional item. So to do that, I used a lot of Panda-sama objects. So Panda-sama, if you don't know her, she's creator, she's a modder that actually makes her own animation. So it's not only make things functional, she also have custom animation, and that allows her to create really unique stuff. So in this set there are 3 new items that are functional. There's the crib for toddlers. You can actually lock the crib so the toddlers don't like wander everywhere. The rocking horse and the changing table. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I just had to write something down. Ho and hi everyone. Hi, Maxi World. Thank you so much for being here. I was just showing off my new set that I released last week. And particularly talking about Panda-sama, which is a awesome creator that makes functional and custom animated item. So let me show you. So it's not only it works. Oh, he's pooping. Not only it works, but it's also super cute. Like it can actually like nap on it. Hi Stephanie. And you can also use like this to increase his like skills. So that's even better. And so it's great because he just poop. So we will be able to change him. So let's change him so you can see how this is doing. Yeah, please don't put that in here. So
run, Jackie. Yeah, horn. Kuwamboo.
so it's censored
Voo,
because you
Busha.
know kids. And
Oh,
you know, cleaning the
disgruntled.
butt. So I placed this right in the right place, so it's like it fits the animation. And then you can but okay, so you can see that I made all the states of my item. It's a great demonstration, sir, of the work I've done, but that's not really nice. So you can put the toddler into the bed, but I don't think it's accessible because of what's in front of it. And sorry. Okay, he's napping on his horse. That's super cute.
Ah.
So I'm really a huge fan of Panda-sama. It's too cute.
Ah.
I think it's still not accessible. Oh, thank you, Barry, for your second month. I think it's because it needs to be accessible on the side like this.
Oh.
Can you stop, please? Or maybe it's because it's sleeping. Yeah.
Wrong twist.
Okay. So you can open the bed, and then you can lock the bed. So you know he doesn't like escape. So you have the dollhouse. I'm going to repair it actually, and you have this dresser with baby clothes, and you can use the clothes like to actually change. So it's like a dresser. I also included some simili swatches on the book. There's obviously the lamp we did together last week, and there's also this sailing lamp here, the red one. And this set is so cute. Thank you. I think the references I used is really, really super cute. Love this set, so beautiful, being in a boho vibe lately. Yeah. And the thing I like is this is thanks to Andragia chainsaw. It's like I rotated the rigs, so when it sits, it actually sits well. It's like I don't know if you remember when we made the seat from the Galileo set with like the kid space bedroom, and we kind of had a difficult time adjusting the rigs, and we had some flamingo legs syndrome, and this is the solution. It's rotating rigs. That might be something, I'm still not handling it very well, so I don't feel comfortable enough to actually show it on stream, so I need to like practice a lot, but that would be something I could do in the future to show you how to rotate stuff. Actually rotating, hi Sana, thank you for being here and thank you for the follow. Rotating like basic rigs are not that difficult. Rotating deco slot are much more difficult. And Kim is back. There she is. Yes, the flamingo legs. It's a very rare disease. It's not funny. We shouldn't make fun of it. On a funny note, I also added some new stuff on my Twitch channel. So you have now a new save reward channel if you want to remind me to save, because I have the dangerous tendency to never save. I rely way too much on Blender autosave. And I also added a Confetti one, which is not to be used right now because it's for the end. It's like when we finish the item and we are super happy and we want to celebrate. So it will be like confettis and magic kime. Don't know how to pronounce this. Magic effect. Hi Sib, I love the new set. You make such beautiful things and put so much love into it. Incredible. Thank you so much, Ferry. Thank you very, very much. Love all yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Felice Jennifer from YouTube. Right. So this is all about this set. And now we are going to... oh, thank you. I am the East. Thank you so much for the SIP gift. We have the train hype coming. Anyway, so for my next set, my next one will be for TSR because I haven't made my quota this month, so I need to work on a new one. And I decided, because that's something that comes very often on my suggestion form, in my website, outdoor barbecue. And hi Simarina, thank you for the follow and welcome in. Coucou Piwi. Runyala? No, not today, not coming. So it's an outdoor barbecue. I'm going to let the game on because I want to test some stuff with you before starting. I want to show you first my inspiration image. One sec, can you up the volume of your mic just a tiny bit? Yes. Is it better? Let me know if it's better. Let me know if like the music is too loud or if like the effects are too loud as well, because I don't have any like feedback from how it sounds. So Simarina, yeah, I haven't started yet. Simarina, so I can save, but yep. So I saw an image that I really like for my set, my new set, incoming set, but I didn't save it and I couldn't find it again. So I found some images that are really close to what I want to do, but the actual image of what I want to do, I don't have it, so I will have to rely on my mind. Basically, I wanted to do a I don't have it at all. I don't have it at all. I wanted to do a picnic table that is for outside. It's kind of Scandinavian, inspired, and I think I made it should be somewhere in here. So that's a bit something like this. This is the closest to what I had in mind. I don't know if I can have it bigger. Yes. So basically it's like all-in-one. With the table and the chair all inside the frame. I don't want it to be like hanged from the ceiling. I just want it to be like a frame that could be like in a park maybe. So like let me draw. Like from the side, it would be something that could be like this. Yeah, kind of. Like this. And then you have the table in here, and the seats are actually this. And it would be something like this from the outside, so kind of like a cube with the table in here. Kind of something like that. I just wanted to follow along. Thank you. Welcome. Something like that. And I also really like the slat look. So basically it will be like slack like this and copy pasted until creating the frame, and same with the table. So in the look we are really close to like this bench, and I might actually make this bench as well. And because this will be for a park or like an outside barbecue, I probably make like the picnic table will be all in one, but then I can make like the bench and some stools and the table in separate way. I can't make a bench functional with a dining because there's not such thing, or there is one with dine out. So maybe I can make one with dine out that actually kind of works like a booth. I actually never try that. Do I have to like keep the proportion? Probably. And my key item, the item for today, will be barbecue. So I haven't found the exact object I wanted to do. So today we are going to mix and match different inspiration for what I want to do. Have you ever seen the table that had the ring in the middle of the table? Yes, in Japan they are really popular. There are a lot of specialties with that kind of things. But in The Sims, they wouldn't be functional, so that's annoying for me. Though I would be able to make them decor, having like the grill in the middle, but the Sim wouldn't be able to access it and not be able to cook with it. So that's kind of too bad, I think. So for now, I think the closest I have from the item I want to do is that one. But I don't want this on the bottom. I want to keep the style of my slat look. and I'll probably make those two separated so that could be used like close to each other, but I want to separate them because you will see why. The why is there is two objects that has two BBQ item that has like a lid. So I wanted the one with the lid because there's one without the lid, but I think it was like more sleek with the lid. And I think it's grill. I think the third one is that one. Oh, there's that one actually as well. So these two don't have any lids, and this one has a lids, but I wanted to show you how to assign vertex group so you can actually animate item. So animated item is like when something in the object will be animated. It's not always simple. Sometimes it has some very strict rule. Like, for example, if you're making a fridge, thank you. You might want to animate one door, and then you can place where is the rotation point, so that's easy to do. But for example, if you make a trash bin, you can't really change the height, so the animation might be weird. Let me show you. Nope, she doesn't want to use it. Is it broken? It might be broken. I haven't tested anything since the new update, so let's try some other. Is it the only one with no, with a lid? No, he's using it. Oh, that's okay. That's normal. That's not bad. That's not bad. It just has like a little effect, side effect. So that's fine. That's fine. Well, so there are two differences with those two. The first one is the size, and this is not something we'll be able to change because as you will see, there is an animation inside. So this one is like gas probably, and you can see that the effect of the gas is not something we can change. It's something that is fixed. So if I wanted to use this item, I would need to use exactly those proportions to be able to have the gas. I could probably change the height, but this is not something we want to do, as all the heights in the Sims are like the same. But the size and probably the fact that it's matching those lines, probably something I wouldn't be able to change because the animation is like fixed. So it's what we call in the Sims SFX, and those SFX are not editable and also not resizable. So if we want to use them, most of them has like a certain 8 direction and stuff like that. Whereas this item uses, how do we say that? Embers, wood, coal, I think. Uses coal, so it's much smaller. It only have a very tiny effect of fire and smoke. And the embers is actually just a separate map. It doesn't have any huge effects. So even if I wanted, let's say, to make this one item, this one would be better. I would probably need to decenter it, meaning that having this on the side, I would have to keep the fact that the grill is like at this position, but that's it. I hope it's clear. Let me know if you have any question. Obviously, I will answer. Which program do you use to make your 3D animation? I don't do 3D animation. I don't know. I've never done it. I think I would be able to learn it if I knew how to code, because just doing the animation is not enough. And Panda-sama is the one creating those mods with custom animation. But animation are not enough. You also need to code to make the animation fits the new, and that's not something I'm able to do. Coding, I tried, and I don't have the brain for it. It's like the logic of writing code is not something I'm able to learn. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so let's quit. And let's see the package. So create, and I'm going to look for the one we tried, which is that one. Okay, and I already created it, but I made a misspell because I think it's the Q. All right, so there you go. I tried to, yeah. I also bought some online courses to learn like XML, but I couldn't resolve myself to do it. Anyway, so before starting, we are going to examine and learn from this package. So before any item that I'm starting, I always study the item to see everything that needs to be done and what is special about this item. And the item from today is special compared to like a vase. A vase will be just a decor item. You just need to make anything. You just create the mesh, change the texture, and that's it. And this one will have some specific. I feel you, Syboulette brain is a code logic friendly either. Yeah. I tried 3 different programming languages back during college, and I learned I'm not a programmer. I learned back in college. I learned HTML. It was like the beginning of internet, so at that time it was pretty easy because there were very, very few things to actually do. So we changed like the background colors, and we edited link, and we put some pictures, very pixelated picture, because we had some very slow internet. And basically the more internet improved itself, the more lost I was, and I completely lost it when PHP appeared, and that's where they lost me. Okay, see you. And I was not able to follow this at all. Well, I just saw someone offered me, so yes, it's I am the is who did. It's very, very kind of them. Anyway, so how do we study this? First, we are going to check the texture. Here we can see we have 3 different textures. So studying the texture is interesting because in case we have some different mesh cuts, sometimes the glass will be separated, sometimes some items are separated. Here we can see that we have one for the actual barbecue item, and we have one for the core and one for the core when it's unlighted. That sounds like my experience. It was the yes. We are old. Yeah. No, it's fine. So basically what will be here whatever item we will put in here will change when we're using the barbecue to become this. So I'll probably do the same. I will put my coal in here and then put my inflamed coal in here, my embers in here. So that's the first point. Then in meshes, we see that we don't have any what we call geostates, which is kind of what we saw. I'm all right there with you. Hi, Rhonda. Yes, this is the old people channel. Be quiet. Oh, don't too quiet, because we kind of becoming deaf the more old we get. So the geostates is like, for example, what we saw with the dollhouse, where you have like a full house. Oh, let me show you. It will make more sense with an example in front of you. So, for example, the dollhouse, wicker dollhouse. So you can see here on the meshes tab that we have geometry states. We have the normal one, we have a broken one, we have a half broken one, and this is default. So for example, the toilet has that. So we have like a half fill and like dirty stuff like that. We will have this on trash bin as well. And any pet bowl, for example, where you have to fill, and so on. So sometimes you will have different states, which is not the case in our item. And last thing we need to check is the rigs. So here we can see that there will be some animation. So most likely when there is animation, especially when there is a sim, we shouldn't change the height, or the hand won't be at the right place. And hello Elena, welcome in. So if you don't want the animation to be weird, you shouldn't change like the proportion of this. So most likely our item will have this height, and we will put the handle exactly here so it matches best the animation. Last thing we could check is the warehouse, to see if there is any special texture. So here is the diffuse one, the normal map, and this is a snow map because most outside item have one. So this is something I'm going to show you quickly. It's quite easy. And this is the specular map, and this is everything for the core. So normal map from the core. This is a blank specular map, and the embers. So we have all the information we need. We can start meshing. So I'm going to export this to use as reference. You love the old jokes. Yes. So first I'm going to remove all the lamp and camera because we don't need them. And I'm also going to get rid of the drop shadows. You can see that we have two fong, meaning that the coal is actually in a separate mesh cut. Hi, Mr. Orkan, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Snow map, never thought about that, but makes sense. Yes, it's if you want to actually customize where the snow is. So basically, if you put a blank one, meaning a completely black one, the game will decide where the snow goes, and basically it's like all of it, like the whole item will be covered by snow. So that's fine if you don't want to do it, but just know that if you want to post your item on TSR, they require to have a snow map done correctly. So it's that's quite easy to do. Basically, you just put some white where there should be snow. so you can play with where the snow is or not. Kola is asking on YouTube, are you French? Yes, I am. Sorry, my accent probably swallowed me. The drop shadow, I don't like drop shadows, so I'm usually just removing them, but we still need to keep the mesh cut. So basically I'm just keeping one square, one triangle, that doesn't matter. I'm just putting it very, very, very small. I'm also putting this in this area because there is no shadow in here, so in case we still see it, at least nothing will appear. Hi, how are you? Hi, Animaso este Michaeli. What a beautiful name. Et toi aussi tu es français. Et voilà, c'est super. Enfin, ça dépend du jour. Anyway, so we also need to be aware that we will have to mesh the inside of it. One last thing I want to show you is the actual vertex group. So this is kind of the point of this tutorial, meaning that we have transform bone, which is everything that will not move, and we have the bind lead, which is everything that will be animated. So if I go in edit mode and I click on bind lead and select, I'm seeing everything that is that will be animated, and basically we will have the pivot point around here, and let me show you, and it will open like this, and we'll be able to see the inside. So this is important to have this part separated from the other part, and following also this point, which will be probably very important to keep. And when we are done meshing, we will have to assign the new mesh to this group so the game can animate it. Hello, Prince Jacob. Thank you for being here. Great to see you too. Right, so let's start. So I basically will do this, but instead of having this wood thingy, I'm more likely design something close to slats, like this. So something quite minimalistic and with a Scandinavian looking. Because it's a barbecue, I might want to include some stones in here, because it doesn't make sense if it's all wood. It would be really too hazardous. So I'll probably make the legs kind of like this, and a stone top. Hope it makes sense. I'm really sorry. I don't speak Portuguese at all, so I don't understand what you said. Sorry. Tu rigoles pas, toi? Anyway, so let's start with making just a cube. No, I will bring back my 3D pivot point 3D cursor at the center. So when creating my new, my new cube, then it's centered. So this will be my stone top. So I'm going to put it, let's check. Because I like the fact that it's kind of, I'm not sure, maybe it won't fit. Okay, explaining what's happening now. If I was following dues from EA, that would mean the top would be something in here. That could match. And I want this barbecue to be able to align with some counters, and counters are usually one one tile height. So as a reminder, one tile in Blender is one tile in the game, and usually all counters and table are 1. So let's put this at 1, so it could fit the base game proportion. So here I activated the snapping tool, so I could snap it to this one. And this I don't need. Basically, I think the stone should be around like this. Now, we can see that it's a bit displaced comparing to the center of my grid. So I probably, oh, actually, it's kind of almost aligned with the handle. So I probably, sorry, I'm still thinking. I'm like, maybe I should append a counter from the game to see how it is placed. Have left the sun, thank you for the follow and welcome in. So let me import a counter. Object counter 1. Okay, so I'm going to put it on, no, and here. And here we can see that it's not fitting at all. It's not helping. Okay, I'll just do however I want then. That's fine. So basically, I want the back of my lid to match the back of their lids. So I should probably leave this here, or maybe a bit closer, but that's it, because I want this round thingy to be aligned with this. Could you please activate the Blender plugin for us to see the color? Of course. It's kind of deactivate every time I've closed the software. I'm sorry. See, oh, you are like connected. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for reminding me. So let's try. Actually, I'm going to try and put it here, and I can see that in the rigs we actually can change this, which is where is the hand. So maybe I can change that. I think I found my soulmate. Yeah, I hope you had like a freeze time moment, you know, with the dun, 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 or maybe not. Anyway, so then I'm going to create the lid. So it's basically a cylinder cut in half. Yes, a lot of happening in Twitch. So I'm going to Shift A, cylinder, and because it's basically the only round item for our object, I'm going to put more vertices so it's like really very well rounded and nice. So I'm pivoting it on X and reducing it. So basically, maybe more than that. I want, first I want half of it gone. Faces. These two. Faces. I also want it narrower. Maybe something like this. Oh, you make a barbecue pit today. Awesome. Also, hi. Oh, hi, Lady Spartacus. Yes, I'm making like kind of inspired by this one. Okay, now that I'm comparing these two, I think this is like too deep. So I will probably how can I do that? I'm going to put my 3D cursor in here. So when I'm resizing this, it will resize according to my 3D point. So I want something a bit smaller and larger, like this. Then I can narrow this. Maybe I'll be able to actually change the pivot point because there is a rig for it. So that's something we are going to try and hopefully will work. If it works, you'll be able to use my new channel reward, which has confetti entering. So we don't want it to be too small either, because the one in game is already kind of small. That's cool. Looking forward to this. I've only got a couple of CC pits, so it's be really nice. Yeah, I agree. Watching tutorial here on YouTube and so you on. Yeah, it's like every Tuesday I'm live. So we don't want this to be too small. But actually, I know I say actually a lot. Sorry. We kind of want it to stay on one tile, but we still have space. So if you're not sure what is one tile, because you know one tile is like half and half from both sides, you can work with GX 0.5 on the side. So you can actually use those limits. And once you're done, you can move it back to the center. So here I can see that I actually have a lot of space. So I will probably, with the median point at center, I will probably use all the tile space like this. So now that makes a lot more sense. And I actually probably might make it bigger. So kind of changing my mind all the time, like this. I think it fits more the proportion of the game and of the characters, the Sims. Yes. All right. So having your proportion done correctly is probably the longest part of the CC creation, because it's kind of putting the bone of your item before starting. So that's a very important step, I think. Then, now it might be a bit too long. I need to study, but wanted to say hello here as well. I'm Prince John on YouTube. Thank you for passing by, and good study. And hi Stanley, welcome in as well. Thank you for the follow. Right, so here I'm going to close this with this age selection on. And for now, I'm going to remove it, just like that. Hi, I like your Sims 4 CC on TSR. Thank you so much. We're actually creating my next step for TSR right now. So, what next? We are going to create a hole in the stone table so we can make this part. So for now, I'm going to hide this and hide this as well. Oh, this we can actually keep for the proportion, because basically this is where the effects are taking place. But that's fine. We don't have to follow them. We just need to keep the height right. So I'm going to create a hole, and for that I'm going to select both top and bottom faces and hit E to extrude, and then SZ, so I rescale my faces without changing height, because if I hit just S, it will also change the height, which is kind of shrinking on itself. But if I hit S Shift Z, meaning I will resize but without the height axis, then I will only change on X and Y, basically. Now I can put back this so I can actually see what I'm doing, and the what I want to do here is actually matching ish the size of our lid. Like this. Now I'm going to delete faces and hide my lid again, and now we can see that we have a hole. I'm going to create a small some small edges in here to like simulate the building barbecue. SY in here. So we can see that in the original item, but we can't see it because it's closed. But if you remember, they use some alpha to create the grid. Because I'm kind of in the mix between alpha and maxi smart. I'm more alpha, but sometimes my item can be both. I allow myself to actually mesh the grill instead of using the alpha texture, especially since we do have some polygon available, because it's a very simple item. So instead of having like one plane that will be the grill, I will actually mesh a few grill. What I can do is also mesh the bottom of our item, which is kind of like everything that's happening. There is like a drawer probably to clean it, and some button that I will probably just draw and not mesh. And this is where we are going to put our sorry, I'm having difficulty finding my word tonight. Coal, ashes, embers. Still don't know which one is right. In here. Okay. And yes, I'm going to select this as well. You're doing great as usual. Thank you. Very, very encouraging. It's so relaxing having this on while playing. You can see behind the curtains. So I duplicated this ring leak so I can create a separated plane that I will fill with F, and that will be my base for my coal / embers, everything. Here I have the choice of keeping completely flat, or I can subdivide it, so I can actually put some relief to it. So this is something we are going to do, but later. So for now I'm going to not touching for now. The thing we need to change is the height. So, oh no, okay. We are going to do it now. And basically, because I don't want to change the base, I want this all around to don't move. If I use the proportional editing, for example, and I select this and put it up, I will change this. For example, this is growing and I don't want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide everything that I don't want to be moved. So that will be everything around like this. H for hide. And everything that remained, I can still move it. If I bring back, it will stay where it was. So that's a very useful tip. If you want to do a professional editing in an area, I don't want to affect a certain type. So this will be the embers, and they are in a separate mesh cut and with a separated texture, so we can move them right away. I can also select them and hit smooth. But this I will have to apply a edge split. No, this one edge split modifier. So if I hide it, you can see that I have a very subtle effect on the core. Now, this I don't need for now. I'm going to go back to this I don't need. And you can see that there is no vertex group at all, so this doesn't need to be changed. About this, so now we need to create the grill. So basically I will duplicate this because it has the perfect width, and Shift D to duplicate, SZ to reduce on Z, and E to extrude, and that will basically extrude. So it's super easy. The only thing I need to remove is those faces, because we won't see them, and that also will facilitate the UV mapping. I also don't know why it moved, but it moved, so we need to move it, probably because I used the proportional, I had this proportional editing on. So with the snapping tool, I'm going to JX in here so it matches these edges, and same on the other side, GX and this, so it matches. Now we have something that I haven't shown you yet, which is the option in the edge modifier where we don't apply an angle, we apply only where we decide to put some edges, and that's sometimes useful if we want, for example, to use the grid, which are square, which are supposed to be edge splitted, but we want to actually we want them to actually look round. So what I will do is I will decide by hand where are my sharp edges with the shading sharp, and everything I put in blue sharp will be sharp, and everything I don't won't be. So this I'm going to move it so I can still have it in object mode, and you can see the grill will look actually round, whereas having 4 edges. So that's kind of an illusion, and that's very nice when you do low poly stuff, because you don't have to actually put a cylinder, just a cube. Even a triangle is enough to create the illusion. So this needs to be sharp all the way. So I'm going to put my maxim right now, and then I'm just going to duplicate it. So without the snapping tool, let's probably put something like this. Shift dy, that would be 0.05. Shift dy 0.1. Shift dy 0.1. Shift dy 0.1. And here we go. We can probably make one more. Shift dy 0.05. And pure magic, yes, it's laziness. It's effective laziness. And then we can just align them right in the middle. And there we go. And it's not even high poly yet. The only thing we need to do is lower this to the bottom to hide it. So we have, where is it? The code that will be in here. And the barbecue table. So now we only need to create everything that's around, and also the handle of the lid. So basically, the idea I wanted to keep for those items, I'm still not sure. I think I just go with it's being smart. Yeah, well, lazy people are smart because they take shortcuts. So usually lazy people are the efficient one when they decide to do something, which is not often. I'm going to create, no, actually I'm going to duplicate that one in here. And I'm going to the side view SY in here and SZ like this, and not that much, yes, and E to extrude like this. I'm selecting everything and it sharp. When I was a student, I had an advertising teacher who said, "Be lazy, be smart." Yes, that's actually very smart to be lazy. That's smart to encourage your students to find their own shortcuts too, and not force them to use your method, because your method is usually not the one that works for others. No. So basically we want this to be approximatively diagonal. Maybe lazy people are the most efficient ones because they take the shortcuts, yeah. So now I have the diagonal. I can select both and in here and hit E. No, side view will be more easy to understand what I'm doing. E to extrude, and there we go. SZ to align, and SZ2 to align with my new 3D point. Then I select everything and sharp, and I have the base of what I'm going to use to create my furniture. So this is basically the shape I wanted to give my table. Hi, Miss Ditsnuts. Thank you for being here. Well, hello. In here, I want this to touch. So with the snapping tool, snapping, and not snapping, have come to learn your Sims Arcane knowledge. Welcome. Today we're making a barbecue. So the important part we're not there yet is how to actually animate the lid. So the Sims, when it's cooking, it will be able to open the lid and grill the hot dogs in it. Hi Sip, how are you today? I love all your CC. Thank you very much. Gamer Girls, I'm really good. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for joining us. So basically, I'm going to... is it? Yes. My cat is just trying to catch attention and being cute. So cute. I'm going to, before duplicating it, I'm going to select the edges. And here, and here, and also the diagonal, and maxim, so I don't have to do it again after that. You're truly so helpful. There's a huge difference between the first time I was here and now. I appreciate it. Really, it means like now you understand better, or I am like explaining better as well. And also, did you already release your first CC or not yet, Mr. Oak? I'm super curious and super interested to see what you are making us. Pee-wee. Yeah. She's like hanging half in the void. Hi. There she is. No, I mean, I didn't know anything about it. You taught me a lot. I'm so glad. Hi, Pee-wee. Kitty cat. I think she doesn't want to be here because we have the fireplace on, and so she's at her favorite spot, which is right in front of it. He looks at you. Yeah, but it's like very, very short. Like for now, she's like appreciating the scratching, but in 2 minutes, she will transform herself to like her everyone, and then she will just like put her claw in my skin. Yeah, that's it. That's finished. Yeah, just for a short amount of time. It's always really brief. I say really enjoy cats. Me too. Very cute. So yeah, you have to enjoy it while it lasts because it's usually very, very short. Yeah. We need Pee-wee emoji. Actually, we have one. I'm so curious, how do you find all your inspiration for your builds? Like, do you spend a lot of time reading interior design magazine, or do you just create from imagination or something else? Usually I have an idea of what I want to do, and I just look for on Pinterest, and I'm just like scrolling, and suddenly there's usually one image that I like, and I then build all my sets around that image. But I usually make some board on Pinterest with a lot of images, so I almost never create from nothing. Sometimes I like recreating exactly the item I found, and sometimes I'm like mixing two style like I'm doing today. It really depends. I'm going to put back on the center because it's not using the center, because for example x minus 0.5, and also the call. Because for example, I'm going to use the mirror, so it's easier if it's in the middle. So I'm going to select this, Shift D, Control M, X, and it will duplicate and mirror it on X. I just need to flip direction because it will invert the normal. It is hard to make them functional. I can make tiny things for the Sims, but I haven't tried anything bigger than a Jerry, but it's not that hard. It will really depend on each item. Some items are harder than others. Amazing, so fun to hear you process. Thanks, you're welcome. You can ask a question anytime. It's kind of the point of this. Pinterest is very helpful. Pinterest is like a loophole of time. It's like once you get there, you just like click on something, and then you have like all the images that look like the one you're clicking on. And usually I spent like a few hours, and I finish with like 40 tabs on my navigator. So it's very dangerous place because you kind of lost yourself there. How long have you been creating stuff for games? Not that long. It was during the lockdown in 2019, so that will almost be 2 years in a few months. In 2 months, I think. I think I started like in April, something like that. Because of the pandemic, because I was bored. I was playing The Sims and I couldn't find characters, so I decided to create mine. Okay, then I want the slat to be repeated in the middle. So I'm going to duplicate that one. Shift the X like this, but I need to align this with top. So SZ0 and then snap it to the top in here. And if I remove the sharp, I can see that it's already unwrapped as it's supposed to be. So now the difficult thing will be like to generate all of them and to be equal sizes. So I'm not really good with math. I probably could like find something to calculate it. So I'm just going by eye, and then I go from there. Did you have lockdown into, no, not 2009, no, it was 2020, sorry. We didn't. It was 2020, like everyone else. I kind of lost track of time. I don't really remember what was before and after, and it's a very weird period, I think. Same thing, it's kind of like the before time and the weird time. Yes, definitely. So this is not what I want, because this is too far from each other. I think I want something more more close to each other. So maybe more like this. So Shift D X and Angel, thank you for the follow. I saw some video on YouTube, etc. In modifiers, there's an option which order the same thing for you. Oh, right. That's the modifier array. That's very clever. I actually use it a lot for my fences. I never think about using it for other stuff. So I need to separate it from the rest. And then I can use the modifier array. And that will create this. I can choose how far I want it to be, and I can choose how many I want it to be. So that's super helpful, Mr. Orkan. Thank you so much for the insight. That's something I always use for my fences, and I don't know why I don't often use it for something else. Is it true that people pay people with dogs to walk their dogs just to be able to go out? Sorry for the weird question. It's maybe just a rumor here in Sweden. I heard about it. I don't know if it actually happens. I know that there was at first a peak of adoption. So I kind of think it's true. But I don't know if the adoption was like to have an excuse to go out, or people just feel lonely at home, not seeing anyone. Thank you for explaining. I learned a new thing. You're the best. No, you're the best. You made me earn some time with this. So here we are not exactly. Yeah, that looks better. All right, so once I'm done with this, I can apply. Not the one I wanted to apply. Sorry, that's the one. And then I can just bring back with the other, and it works. Now I just want this on the other side as well. So before it's not centered on X, I'm going to select both this and this, and hit Shift S cursor to select it. Hi Farida, thank you for the follow. So it will put my cursor right in the middle. So now when I'm selecting all of this and hit Shift E and Control and first pull my pivot point to 3D cursor and hit Control Y, it will use my pivot point in here to mirror it. So now they are aligned with this. So I can flip direction again, and voila. And if you hold Shift while you drag it in that field, you can go in slow amounts. Right. Thank you for this, Maxis Machisiwa. So what they're saying is like, if I click one, it will go like quite fast. You can see it goes like 1 unit at a time. But if I actually hit Shift and moving here, I can have more control about the value. I still have probably to end it by the end, but it will make more, will save time. So that's very useful as well. Thank you. I'm wondering if I should put the slats on this side as well. I think I'm going to close it. Yes, I will. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $90. No, so that was not enough. Shift D, 90. Okay, so here I want to keep this. So, no, I won't. I'm just going to delete that one. And I'm going to cheat a little by SY stretching them. There we go. All right, and the opposite side. So this one I can use the center. So I just hit Shift C to put back my pivot point in the middle. Then while I'm selecting this, Shift D, Control M X, and it mirror on X and flip direction like this. And we are almost done. The last thing we need to do is to make the handle. I will also add some bit of bevel on this and on the stone on the stone tab, sorry. And I also want probably to add some button to turn it on and off. We kind of lost the details of this, but I think that's fine. I think I like the minimalist look of it. It's not really functional, like for real, because I don't know where you would be able to remove the core. Probably you can like put the grill, so that's really not practical, but that's fine. We don't care. We don't clean it. The Sims do. So I want some bevel on this. And this as well. We also need to make the interior because you know, it will be open, so we will see the inside. So that's probably something I want to do before adding the bevel, actually. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to hit Alt E to extrude, but I will select region vertex normal. That way I can put it inside and then select everything and recalculate. So here I will have to select my edges sharp, and now it's better. So now I can put my bevel. Much better. So here I'm going to separate those to mark my seams, and I'm going to use the diagonal to cut it so it doesn't take too much space on my UV map. And I'm going to select both sides and same on the other side, here and here, mark seam. I can remove the sharp to see what I'm doing, because with all the blue we kind of don't see anything at the end of the day. I also didn't do it for the stone. So how do I want to do this? So I can either cut it here to make it like in real life, where they would actually cut corners. It's not amount, it's probably increments, right? I still don't know all the English words. Yeah, me neither. It's fine. It's fine. I think we know enough to make us make ourselves understand and to understand people. So don't be too harsh on yourself. So I'll probably put one in here, mark seam, one in here, one in here. I'm going to cut corners, mark seams. I'm going to hide all of this so I can see what I'm doing. H. Trying to figure out Twitch, so I'm sorry if I disrupt your stream. That means you see the channel, the video won't play, so I still have you on YouTube. I think when you go on, when you're on my channel, I'm going to mute myself. There's probably, there should be myself in here. Hi, myself. That's weird. That's Twitchception. And if you scroll down, you'll probably find like the video, but maybe you need to create, no, you did. I was saying maybe you need to create an account to watch me, but you are writing something, you obviously have an account. I don't know. I'm not really good at Twitch either, so I'm not sure if I can help. So here I cut this and this as well. Maxime. Here I'm going to follow the diagonal, but I don't want to cut the stone, so that will be only the metal part. And Maxime. And I think that's it. I'm going to bring back the lead GY -1. Okay. I had the same issue with Opera. I'm not watching on Firefox without any problems. Suggest you try a different browser. Yes. So here I'm just going to add the handle. So it's a very basic one. I like when it's very basic. So I'm just going to select this face because it have both the size but also the inclination. So Shift D. SX. E to extrude. Control R to add rings. SX like this. And now I'm going to hide everything to see what I'm doing. And extrude. And I'm going to sharp all of it and bring back everything, and now I can just move to where I want, which is here. Actually I think it's quite too close, so I might want to like this. I think it's probably too thick. I need it to be more thin. So I'm going to select those SX. I'm going to actually get rid of this. Select edge loop. It will be easier to unwrap later. Edge loop. And also removing the faces back because we don't need them. Faces. And that looks better. I think that might be too low. So actually I'm going to put it halfway in here. I'm on Chrome, so I will try Firefox. Thank you, Mr. Orkamp, for the bits. You're always so cheering. Thank you very much. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think I wanted to add some button. So I'm probably going to add something in here So it will basically just, it's just for decor. It's just to make it a little bit more realistic, even if it's like definitely not realistic, because as we say, it's not really practical. But the detail is what makes the CC really standing out. I think it's the small detail. Something like that. I'm going to select both faces and one edge here, sharp. No, not sharp. Mark seams. I want everything sharp. And you were too sweet, Mr. Organ. Thank you. Thank you. Here, and then we're just going to add 2 buttons. So we have the choice in here. They have like a slide, but don't like it too much because that's too much to render or to draw. It will be weird. So I'm more thinking about the one from like the other references. If I have one, yes, that one. Kind of, you know, like the gas thing, but we don't have gas, so that don't make sense. Hello, I'm new here. How does Sharp do? What does Sharp do? When we export in Scenes 4 Studio, by default, Scenes 4 Studio will smooth your item. So the fact that you will sharp will actually make it sharp. De rien, I guess, yes, it's exactly that, de rien. So I'm changing my mind because I wanted to put some button to add some realism, but I just remembered that our barbecue is actually like a manual one, a classic one. It's with a coal and not gas, so button doesn't make sense at all. So no button. Just a manual one. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. You could make that button thing wider so it becomes the drawer for the ashes you were missing earlier. Yes, that probably makes more sense. I could put something like this and maybe yeah. And how was the handle? Yeah. I think I just reused that one. Maxims. Shift D. I'm going to put back right. But here we can see that it's not perfectly aligned. So to do that, I'm going to add right click in here and SZ0 and same on the bottom, SX0. Sib, I always have problem with the edge split and auto shadow for when I pass the final object to the Sims 4 I don't understand why the submail in the object is seen as poorly defined, and when I put edge split, it's improved the submail of the object to what is out. That's kind of what I explained before. It's like, don't don't trust what you're seeing on what you have on Blender, and also what you have on Sims 4 Studio. Maybe on Sims 4 Studio it does look sharp because the smooth don't really apply on Sims 4 Studio. But if you click on your item in object mode and click on smooth, and you can kind of, because see, I could think that this is sharp, but when I click on smooth, I can see that it's not. So you always have to put some edge split modifier. You have two options. You can either decide yourself which edges are sharp, like I did myself with putting blue everywhere, or I could decide that everything above 30 will be sharp. For example, in this item, it will be almost everything except maybe those that will be not 30. So it really depends how is your item. Usually I use the 30 because if the item is like square, it will automatically do it, but sometimes I need for certain reason. And for this item, the reason was that behind my lid, I have some grids, and grids are actually square, but I want them to look round, and that's why I didn't apply some modifier on them, and that's why I have everything blue except them. I will actually leave them there because for the texturing it will be better to texture like this. But I do want to see the result with it. Actually. So I don't know, I think if it's weird that the drawer is the exact same size. Well, okay, gracias for the explanation. You're welcome. It's something I spent a lot of time when I started. I remember it was one of my first steps. You could make the better thing wider so it becomes a drawer. Yeah, I read that already. Hello, I watch your video tomorrow. It's late. I give you a like. Thank you, Boogie, and have a good night. I remember when I started, I think it was during my CrossFit set. All my enemies, my CrossFit set were kind of round with the plates and the dumbbells and the kettlebells, so I couldn't actually see it. I didn't apply any edge split, but I didn't notice it right away, especially since my item were black, so not huge difference in game. But then I made the wooden box, the jump box, and it was awful because I didn't know I was supposed to apply the edge split, and I think I spent like 2 days trying a lot of things and trying to find a solution about that, and my item not to look that weird. And that was just it. That was edge split modifier. All right. So we are right above the limit. It's fine. It's still in the 2000, so that's fine. I'm going to select everything and in object mode apply rotation and scale to be sure that everything will be unwrapped properly. And then I might have some duplicate in here. Not sure. I'm going to remove double just to be sure. Yes. I knew it. So we don't have that much polygon now. We are right on point. Select everything and unwrap. And I didn't forget anything. Everything looks perfect. So that's perfect. right, one last thing before continuing. First is Blender is not really good. I think I heard, I'm not sure, they made it better in the more recent version, but this is not really helpful because you can see that Blender is not able to fill the empty UV map. So we kind of lose space in here, especially since we have both of them, the top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the bottom one. So that's the one. And I'm going to resize it and put it inside of it. So at least we don't lose that much space. So for now, I'm going to put it here because I'm going to reorganize everything in here. And that means everything has to be in the right order or not. Yes, orientated the same way. All the wooden ones are already on the same right and everything else is metal, so I don't care. So that's fine. I can just go like this. So I'm going to select everything, Control P, but I don't want to rotate and I want some margin like this. So now I can bring back this in it. All right. I still need to remove this. No, not yet. Because we still need to assign the vertex group. So not yet. I do need to, where is it? So this is the core. I do need to unwrap this. So I'm going to unwrap, and as you can see, it doesn't take all the UV map. So we have the solution. We can either stretch it so it does, or we can just leave it that way. I'm going to leave it that way. That's fine. I still need to change the mesh cut, so that will be 2. The cube is 1, and the drop shadow is 0. And now we need this. And now the thing we need to do is assign the lid. So what I can do is actually select that one and select mine and hit Ctrl G, so they will be merged. And when they are merged, they are sharing the vertex group. So now when I select everything, I can actually select both of them and delete them, because I don't need them. But what I need is this lid, so I'm going to select the handle and the lid, and I'm going to assign. Then hiding everything and selecting everything else, so everything that is not animated, and this one I will assign to transform bone. Before saving, I'm going to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, so select transform bone. I can see that everything is selected except the lid, and the lid select, and that's fine. So this is okay now. I can save, and when I will replace it, it should work properly. One thing we need to change, because we kind of change a bit of proportions, is where the pivot points are and where the handle is. So I'm going to select this this edge here, which is supposed to be the pivot point. So Shift S cursor to select it, and that will be the coordinate of my pivot point. So I will replace this in here. So X is always 0 because it's centered, but that will be a bit further, and that shouldn't change much either. Just a bit lower. Thank you, Kiki Laco, for the follow. There. And for the handle, oops, in here, I'm going to select this, maybe even here, Shift S cursor to select it, and that will be the coordinate for the handle. So select this. This is more tricky because you can see that the parent is actually the bind lead, so we can't just put the coordinate of this because it's kind of depend of this. So if we want to match, we actually need to like poke around and try to fit it. Okay, that was way too much. Yeah, that sounds quite good. I'm going to make a quick pause to kiss my boyfriend good night. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Où tu vas, toi? And I'm back. All right, so we were there. Hopefully this will work. We can actually try it right now before going further. Yeah, I thought what's going on, but that's probably because in the UV map, it will probably be like where the grid is right now. So this is not something we are going to see in game, so that's fine. So we are going to test it right away, so we can see if we need to change the proportion to fit better or not. Because actually I've never made a barbecue, so I have no idea how this item works. So to test it, I'm also going to need shadow load. So I'm going to remove both and put 0 and save as shadow. Okay. No, I need to remove the vertex group for the shadow. And there we go. I'm going to rename it so I can find it easier. Okay, and let's test it before going further. And it's time to hydrate. You need to hydrate people. It's very important. You're very quiet tonight. I'm actually excited to finish this set, because then I will be able to start my wedding one for after that. Even if it's been a bit quiet for me this week, because I'm having some personal issues, so I'm not all dedicated for CC creation this week. So I'm slowing down a little, just the time to fix everything. I think the fact that it's there's actually a release is kind of tranquilizing me. Is it right way to say it? Because I'm thinking everyone will be busy with the DLC, so they don't. It's probably the only time where they don't need that much CC compared to other time. Even if I understand that not everyone is going to buy this new DLC. I'm excited for all the wedding CC everyone is going to come out with. Oh, okay. Well, I will, but I will need some time, I think. There's a new DLC coming up. Yes, there is in 2 days. In 2 days, they're releasing a game pack with a new world and a lot of new stuff for weddings. I hope everything goes well with your life, Sibs. Personal life affects a lot when it comes to creativity. Thank you, Mr. Oka. That's very, very thoughtful of you. And don't worry, it's nothing serious, but it's things I need to take time with. So, but that's I'll be back. Right, so let's try the barbecue stuff. So obviously it's super ugly because I didn't change the texture or the normal or the specular or anything. We just want, no, not the cat. We just want to test the animation. So see, here we have a problem. So what we can do is before changing the proportion is that we can lower the bind lead. So let's try again.
Lyre.
Yes, we can see the hand is also not where it should be, and the stakes are also not where they should be. So my grid should be higher than that. Very excited to have a new world. Yes, me too. So before changing the proportion of my stuff, we are going to try and change this. So first I'm going to open back my barbecue and I'm going to select my lead and hide it, and I'm going to put my grid more higher, almost in here. Then I probably put the core higher too. Probably make more sense. Save it. The new world is gorgeous, my new favorite. Oh, you already play with it, I think. Because you a game changer. I don't know how it works exactly. Yes. Oh, you're lucky. But yeah, I can't wait, because I'm always looking for like nice neighborhoods, because even if I don't really use the thing from the base game, I really like the view. Hi Lon Studio. I really like the view, and for now my favorite is Winterberg for the views, because I think like when I have like huge window bay, the view on the beach and the sea and the mountain is like really beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the old pivot point. So I'm going to recreate. So you can see that when you change the rigs, it's not exactly, the animation will not happen exactly where they are, the rigs, and sometimes it's like more complicated than that. So just changing the rig doesn't affect the object. So that's something you can sometimes need to poke around. Sometimes you can just adjust them. Sometimes you really just need to follow exactly the proportion of the item you're trying to clone. So just to be able to compare, I'm going to name it test. I'm going to reclone the one I used. In here. And this is probably the cement erection slot is probably the hamburger height. Window lighting is my favorite. Yes, me too. It's very, very neutral. Is it true that we can swim in the ocean in the new world? And yes, I agree. Sometimes I just like looking around Winterberg because it's just too pretty. I get you. I love Winterberg, but its town center. Its town center is not my favorite. I love Brinton Bay. It doesn't have that beachy feel and it rains a lot. I love Del Sol Valley. It doesn't have a true center, but Tatosa is to me perfect in every aspect. That's really good to know. I don't like Del Sol Valley because for me as a CC creator, the sun is too bright, it's too powerful. So because I like to use the windows and the leaves and everything to put some shadows on my objects, I think it's like kind of hide my item. But I do like Bridleton Bay to play. I think I have a lot of houses over there, and also every shop I make, I really like to make them in the promenade. So I have all my restaurants and everything in there. I think I like the center for like venues and shops. Right. So the rigs. So this was 0 and 1. No. Nope. I'm not on the right one. I'm supposed to be here. So we were something more around in here and in here. And target is supposed to be minus 68. In here. So let's try with just don't touching this and just moving a bit this. Just a bit. Let's try that, just that. Del Sol Valley isn't the prettiest and the B&B might not be the best, but I really enjoy the gameplay. Yeah, I agree. I don't like as well the neighborhood of Del Sol Valley because it feels a little too like backcountry to me. And yes, you can swim. I prefer its color scheme to Solani. Honestly, I really represent Mediterranean. I also really like Sudani. For vacation, it's really good. I think it's also really good for like my mood, because when I'm tired of like here being so snowy and cold and everything, I just play in Sulani and everything is so bright and colorful, and I really like all the cafes and all the venues they added. So from the images, the colors do look really beautiful. I'm really excited to check it out, especially since you said that's so yes, me too. Now I feel guilty because I won't be able to make the CCA on time, but that's fine. I need to set my priorities. Right, so test 2. Put it my ugly barbecue to taste it, and the cat won't be able to taste it. It needs to be you. And let's grill some hamburger. Better. It's much better. So that's where we are probably coming to having the problem of sorry. Keeping the proportion of EA item, because it's supposed to be like this. So what I could do is I could actually add a piece in here. I am tuning out early, guys. I wish you all a nice night. Have a great night sleep. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Maxis CC World, and have a good night too. Thank you so much for being awesome and there tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a piece of metal in here that will simulate the fact that we have the, I don't know how to call it in English, but kind of like the piece to attach them. I also want to check the hand. Okay, it does go back a little bit as well. And the hand is also a bit far. I did change the height of the hamburger, so that's something we can change. I can put back my my grill, but maybe I won't, because I think actually it's nice having them there. I will just do one more try with the lid being a little bit lower. Let's try this. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works, and then we can go to the texturing. There we go. I like my burger well done as well. Me too. Actually, I really like burgers. I never eat them. I wish I could have more. I've actually been craving a burger lately. Yeah, I'm trying to resist not going to McDonald's. If I want a burger, I actually want like a real one. I think the last time I had one was probably before Christmas. I went to the restaurant with a friend. It was really, really delicious. Yeah, that doesn't work. So I shouldn't change the rigs. That's the... yes, we can. I tried that earlier. I think I actually like it like this because I kind of moved the grill up and the core up, but we can change it. I'm going to show you how. So this is definitely not something we want to change the size. So I will adjust my mesh to EA item, or it will just mess around. So Mr. Orkan, if we want to say change the height, it's this CTNM symmetry direction. So I'm going to put back all the proportion from EA, because that's definitely not playing in our favor, trying to change them. And instead, I'm going to export this as original. You will see that it's the same for oven. Like the oven that the seams are opening, you can't really change the height or even the size of the window because you can't change the pivot point, so that's really annoying. I'm gonna have to get a burger now. I'm hungry now, but it's midnight here. I was thinking of McDonald's, you contemplating getting some churros. Stop speaking about food, please. I'm supposed to go to bed like in an hour, so it's definitely not the right time to eat. So I'm going to append my original mesh that I just exported in here. So that's EA item. And I'm going to change lightly the proportion of my item, so if it's this. The only thing I can't really change is the fact that they have the lid in here and it's like opening here, and this I don't really like. So it's a problem because of lids height difference. The thing is it's not the height difference, it's not like this difference. The problem is like the pivot point. My pivot point is here and their pivot point is here. So right now I could don't change and put it here, but that means when it's open it has like a blank space in here. So what I could do is I have two solutions. I can either create the same shape as them, meaning that I will create something that won't move in here and the lid will actually start here, or I could create like a small cube in here inside, and when it's open it will look like it's like the in between, like kind of like the joint. Bonsoir, Oscar. Welcome in. Go see if I could simulate the fact. Let me try to create something very quickly. X0, maybe something like this. So it will be inside like this, so we wouldn't be able to see it when it's closed. And then when open, no, it doesn't work, it needs to be much closer. That's even weirder. I think that doesn't work. Then yeah, that works much better. We just need to probably adjust the grid, because then it will create kind of like it would be the joint. I think something like that could work. But then we just need to adjust this. And remove that one. Not sure. That's probably a bit too weird to. Okay, let's follow. Yeah, proportional. That's challenging. You can do it. Yeah, it's always finding the right way and the good compromise between what you are trying to do and what you can do. Because sometimes what you want to do is not always feasible, so you kind of have to adapt. So I think I'm just going to follow EA item. So that means I'm going to select everything and hide everything. You too. So here basically I need my lid to start from here. So I could probably remove those. Faces and instead I will close this like this, and I still have this bevel that now is annoying me, so I'm going to edge loop. See, sometimes it's tricky because you think you removed everything and this is super weird. This is not where it's supposed to be. So in that case, I can use the Alt M at last. So it just fusion together the vertex. I'm going to sharp them both and then select all of these and still having some problem in here, vertices, and at last, that's the problem when you create some bevel, it kind of break your structure. At last. I'd cover the back with a huge big lactose machine. Yes, just hide whatever is it's not ready. Hide it. Okay, sharp. All right. So now we just need to have like the fixed area, and basically I'm just going to select this. And I'm going to make it a bit larger on purpose. And hi Jolinda Sima, thank you for the follow and welcome. Like this. Now I need to select every sharp edges, hiding everything else so I can see what I'm doing. So these need to be sharp, these two, these two, these two, sharp. Yes, thank you. Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. Hi Cicada, welcome. How are you doing? All right, something like that. So it kind of look like, no, shouldn't be like that. I am good. How are you doing? I'm very good too. I'm a bit wondering how I'm going to change this without changing it completely. The fact is, I'm trying to change this to fit EA proportions. So let's try it. So let's select our bind lead and see. Nope, 3D cursor, thank you, and see how it works. That would be like this. Kind of makes sense. I could add some bolt in here to figure the fact that it's using this. That could work. I think that works. I just don't know how much they open it. So we see. We are going to see. All right, so first we need to move this a bit, because that's probably inside. Oops. Yeah. Doing the animation part is always the harder part for me, yes. Especially with this item, because I never made it before, so kind of discovering with you how it works. So now I just need to unwrap the new item because we changed some stuff, and pin. So first the joint, because it's easier, it's basically the square and one in here and the square. There, Maxims. And the lid. Nope. The lid is like the exterior. I decided not to put back the bevel. The one. It will mess up this if I put back the bevel. Are we still using the flamingo legs when the legs go high? This is funny to see. Not now, because I joined Geration, so showed me how to rotate rigs. So now this is not happening now. See, if you can't find anything, just add to wheel like circles at both joint areas. You know how vacuum cleaners have these big wheels at back. So you can use it both horizontally, you can leave it in vertical position. We probably prevent it to look like it's floating in the air. Yeah, but I really like the fact that the design was so minimalistic. So if I'm adding some big wheels, we kind of destroying the designer vision of this. Let's try it. Yes. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. No one's dead. Yet. Pee-wee is sending emails. She's sleeping on my boyfriend laptop. So usually when he wakes up, he's got like some stuff written on his screen. In French, we always like to make jokes because a cat is, say, a chat, which is the same that chats when you're chatting. So we always like the chat is chatting. Haha. All right, so let's save and let's try again. I want to make sure that my group are still correct before trying anything. So let's select everything. We have our new and the bind lead, select, and that's fine. I remember someone called Pee-wee Pee-pee before. That was funny too. Yes. No, Pee-pee is P. So don't call Pee-wee Pee-pee. Nope. Okay, save. And you, I don't want. So if I want to keep it in my file, but I still don't want to show it in Sys4 Studio, I just need to remove the cut. So in case we still need it, it's still there. So here I'm saving it and also making the shadow load. And we're trying again. It's same in my language as well. It's not appropriate. What is your language? Where are you from? Turkish. I love Turkish food. When I lived in Japan, there used to be a Turkish restaurant really, really good. That's definitely probably the last place where you would look for a good Turkish restaurant, but that was the best I've eaten. So, test number 23. We have many, many words derived from French. Oh, that really? Well, which one, for example? I love Turkish coffee too. It's something I would love to see more in The Sims. No, I love Turkey coffee. We were talking about food again. Oh, damn it. Is that the Turkish coffee? Is that the really strong one where you have the powder that stays on bottom? Yes, like espresso. I can't even like the classic black coffee. I can't drink it. I only drink my coffee with milk. It's really too sour for me. And my boyfriend family is from Israel, so we go there every year. At least we used to go there every year. Now the travel is like kind of a no-no. And over there, they serve the coffee like the Turkish, so like the one you described, and I just can't. I'd rather not drink coffee. My boyfriend doesn't mind, but for me, it's like, nope. I don't like coffee either. I'm a tea person. Coffee is too bitter for me. Oh yeah, bitter was the word. See? Much better. So now I will just add a bolt in here in my texture, so it will look like it's like done on purpose. Now it's the time. If you want, you can send the confetti one. There's a reward from my channel. Let me know if it's too expensive or not, because I don't have any experience with Twitch, so I have no idea how much is too much, and I'm having like 3-4 times a day. That's still okay, I think. I also love the coffee in India, really strong hot and in a little copper cup. I've never been in India. Never tried that one, the Indian one. But if you say it's strong, I probably won't like it. All right, let's do the texture and then we can call it a night. Come visit here. You can be my guest. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. How far is it from Israel? Maybe I can make a stop. I'm so bad at geography. Let's watch a map. Not Turkish headline. Okay, I'm booking my flight. I'm coming. No, I want the map. Yes, it's like showing me the closest Turkish from where I live. That's not what I'm asking. Yes, thank you. Interesting. So it's actually pretty close to Israel. Hi, the Raiders. Zoomy. Thank you and welcome, and please enjoy. I had a friend who moved to Turkey for work, and I was hoping to visit them, but plans didn't work out. But that was many years ago. I like strong coffee with agave syrup. I used to add milk, but I stopped as it made me sick. Me too, Nabuzo. And I replaced the milk with soy milk or sometimes almond milk, and now it's fine. So yeah, my boyfriend's father lives like in the very south, so it's actually quite far. Every time we say, oh, it's not that far, but actually, you know, the distance is like the France. So when we see the size of the France, it's like, how far is it? Which part of Turkey are you from, Mr. Okan? You're welcome, Zoom Zoom. Yeah, the almond milk is nice if you like almonds, but almond milk is actually quite strong, so you need to like the almond taste. The soy milk is actually, I think, more subtle. So you are from Kusadasi. Where is it? Okay, let me cheat. And also it's really on like the Greek, the AGC. How do you call it this in English? The Aegean dream. Agency. That must be such a beautiful area. So no surprise you really like the new DLC then, because that should be kind of close to your architecture as well. I can see all Greek islands. That's kind of put me some Odyssey feels in my mind. But for me, this area is definitely all about the Odyssey. I really love that book. I think it was my favorite book when I was a kid. I was like completely fan and obsessed with mythology, like Greek mythology. I knew all of it, all by heart. Imagine a Turkish best Sims world. It's only 7 hours from Paris to Istanbul. That's actually a lot. Like from Bordeaux to Tel Aviv is 4 hours when I go to see my boyfriend's father. So 7 hours, there should be a transfer here probably. Because that sounds a lot compared to the distance, because Israel looks actually more far. Definitely want to visit now, Mr. Oka. Someday travel, we open up again. I miss traveling. Yeah, me too. Anyway, so we were done with the animation. So now we are going to do the texturing. It will be quite easy, so don't worry. It will be quite fast. We don't have a lot of elements. Before doing the texture, I will have to separate the lid from the object so we are able to actually see inside, and also so we don't have some shadows over our area. So we need to move the lid. I'm going to move it that way, but we also need to no, I should move the other one. We also need to make the coal one. It takes 8 hours to drive. Oh, by driving? No. It takes 8 hours to drive from the north of my state to south, so I guess everything is relative. Yes, 8 hours, probably what you do, not the whole France, but almost. So it's like my whole country. Yes, the US is crazily big. No, GY. No, GY. Yes. Like this. And I also want the core, GX1. So here I'm going to show you how to do when you want two texture on Substance Painter. When you need to have two painter being in two separate texture. So for that, you will need to give them material. So this one will be BBQ, and this one will be coal. And when selecting both, I'm going to export OBJ selection only, and this one I will keep the right materials. Okay, now I can open Substance Painter, and I will also close everything that is not necessary so I don't lose too much memory. I'm going also to launch my empty lists to free up some memory. Where do you want to travel to when we can travel properly again? So many places: Greece, Spain, Turkey, back to Scotland and India. That's a lot of things to do. Comment on Texas. Texas is huge and it's just desert, like the movie shows. I'm along the east coast of Texas, so we have lots of woodlands over there. Eastern Europe and Asia. That's a huge program, peregrinations. That's a lot of traveling to do. So, new one. There we go. So now you can see that we have the BBQ one and we have the core one. So we can texture them both separately while having them on the same one. I'm going to sleep. Thank you for the stream, Sib, and good night. Good night, Randy. My dad best friend lived in Houston and they moved to New Jersey. He says he misses the weather. I'm planning a whole life more of travel. Yes, there's so much to see. So let's start with the barbecue. I'm going to use the wood I'm always using now, and I make a smart material out of it, if I'm finding it. Yes, here we go. So I'm going to apply a black mask and select only the wood one, which is basically everything that is on the bottom. I probably also want it to be more smaller, like this. And I will add a smart material with light and shadow that I created that basically have the same light and shadow. If you want more information about this, I recommend watching my previous streams because I explain how I did it, and I kind of make this so I actually earn some time. This is not applying because I forgot to bake mesh maps. I used to spend my summers in Texas with my dad. Sounds like an awesome plan. I'd love to go to all those places too and to visit my cousin in Thailand. Another place I was supposed to visit years ago, but wasn't able to. Me too, actually, Lady Spartacus. I was supposed to go in Thailand. I think like 10 years ago. It was the year of like this huge flood, so we had to cancel. From warm weather to cold weather, I miss it too. Yeah, doesn't look really appealing. I personally miss Japan a lot, and the food, Japanese food. All right. Now for the middle, I really like that one, the cobalt damage, but I need to change it a little bit. So I'm going to apply it first, then apply some white mask, and I'm going to hide everything that is not part of it, which means basically everything that it's wooden, like this. So it's really nice, but it's a bit dramatic. So first, I think also so is it this? Yes, the surface details is a bit too much. So I'm just removing it. And the rest I can keep it. I think I like it. The barbecue pit looks really good, thank you. I also need to change the light. Yes, that's much better. I think I'm going to make 2 different lights for both of them, because this is too much for the middle. So I'm going to move this. So this is the light layer into my wood layer, like this, and I'm going to duplicate it and move it into my metal layer. So this one I will actually what is it, this curvature, I'm going to reduce it a lot and also change the color to something more cold, and probably the intensity too, so it's more subtle. I don't think I've ever been to Arlington, never had a reason to visit. Where is Arlington? I'm also really bad at American geography, as you can see. Base metal is also a bit too colored. I think I want something more neutral, like this. All right, so we go for the barbecue, easy peasy. Maybe the surface detail is a bit too much as well, because if I go in here, I think this is too much. So that's probably something I can change in here. In here. Yes, the height. I'm going to save, because I do trust Blender for autosave, but Substance Painter doesn't have autosave, so this is definitely something I need to do more often. Now about the core. So I have a really nice smart material, but I do need to find some texture. So let's find, Arlington is a small city town in Texas. Oh, thank you. Is it known? Like Am I the bad one, or is it not that known, famous? Perfect. That's just perfect. Hydrate. Yes, thank you. So I'm going to download that one. It's about 4,000 people outside Dallas. So that's quite small, I think. Relatively small. Sorry. Fill and there we go. So maybe we can add some more contrast in here. What happened? Yes, that's better. I wouldn't expect you to know US geography. Most Americans don't know US geography. If you're Texan, you'd know it, but no, it's not one of the big cities. Those are Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and El Paso. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I think I've heard all of them. Maybe El Paso less.